SnareBurger. One SnareBurger coming up! SnareBurger! Hey, you guys!
So different kind of fluids here at Park Street here this week.
Yeah, definitely different. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle.
So,
why did I get a different glass this time?
Because I gave you
Does he
that
like me?
glass
Cool.
the first time.
It's like a,
Oh, you're
less beer the
recording,
first time.
Pete? I didn't know Pete was recording. I wouldn't have talked about my anal warts. Did I show you my anal warts before?
God damn you,
Is it the same one you've had or a different one?
I have a new one.
got a new one?
I named it Ralph.
You named it Ralph?
Yeah.
His anal wart is named Ralph.
Oh, I like
The
that.
show is-
Yeah.
the show
Well, you
is-
know, my skin tag that I recently had removed is named Harry.
Harry?
It's my next tattoo.
Harry?
Yeah.
Harry.
Harry the skin tag?
Harry, my
Where was
skin
it, on
tag.
your neck?
No, my hip.
Hip? Yeah.
One of my hip removed, yeah.
I
It's getting
adopted.
bigger every year.
I adopted an anal wart.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I went to the orphanage. I picked him out.
Nice.
I picked him out.
Nice.
That I believe.
In hindsight, that might not have been the wisest idea.
In hindsight. Because you didn't have your rehearsals this week, huh?
No, we didn't bother.
Me and Johnny been working on some stuff. What is that?
This is Prego by Rothschild America. Shannon Larkin. See, it's like
I forgot he did Rothschild America, that's right. It's like my sugar. Yeah.
it's coming up soon. Who is this?
This is Shannon Larkin with Rothschild America.
Keep listening.
Ugly Kid Joe's band.
It's just like they go, they just go everywhere.
Yeah. It's who's coming out?
Godsmack.
They're a metal band, but I like their sound because
Yeah.
it was instead of like this is before I think drums were so big. Like you can hear you hear the definition. It's more probably low, low key. But but he's got some.
I forgot he was in that band. I totally forgot. She was, what? Ugly Kid Joe was before them, probably, right?
No,
No, it wasn't.
no. I think he just. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but probably needed some cake.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him one bit.
Yeah.
My brother he lives in Albany, so he used to see Rothschild all the time because Albany is like a crossroads. So any band going on 81, Route 81 or 90, they go through Albany. They go 87, they go through Albany. So you see a lot of bands.
Okay.
They'll always stop in Albany, and you'd always see them.
Okay.
I used to drive from Fredonia, which is like 6.5 hours away, to Albany to see like King's X when they play.
I will mention Prego now that I know what it is.
There you go. But I mean,
He told me to mention if I see Shannon on the tour to mention Prego. And that's what he was talking. I didn't know what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about.
but their stuff is good though. They do. I remember they did a version of "Time" by Pink Floyd, but they have some good songs. Like it just. And even though back then metal bands weren't quite as numerous, I mean, not everyone can get in the front door, But,
Right.
But I used to see King's X a lot, so I would drive
that
to
band.
Albany. And,
Awesome drummer.
And I must have. My brother's like, "Oh shit, King's X is here tonight. Can you make it?" I'm like, "I'm already in the car," and I'm like, "Going there." One time I went there, and we got to the club, and we're here to see King's X, and the guy's like, "Oh no, they canceled because the singer's voice." And I start laughing, and my brother's like, "No!" So the guy's like, "What?" Like my brother's like, "He just drove here from like Buffalo to," and the guy's like, "Oh no, man, you want a beer or something like that?" But it was fun. King's X is always fucking great. It was a great time to see them, and it was around the Dogman or no, it was
See him at Jared's when I went to Jared's?
Yeah, I think we saw him at Jared's. Yeah, we saw him in Attleboro. Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
And this is before Jerry Gaskill had his heart attack. But man, I used to love watching him play. He would break his Pisces, right? He just hit so freaking hard, but
and the backups and the singing, the vocal parts, the 3-part harmony.
it's just like this is a great freaking band.
All the players in that, the guitar player, bass player, Doug Pinnick, right?
Yeah, Doug Pinnick.
It's Doug Pinnick, and then the guitar player's name I should know.
Ty Tabor.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
The drummer had a heart attack. Did they?
He had a heart attack. Well, I saw that they did
alive,
they
or
did
he died
tour.
from it?
No, he's still alive. They did tours with Porcupine Tree for 1 or 2 albums, which was pretty cool.
Who's that drummer? Who's the drummer for Porcupine Tree?
Gavin Harrison.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. He's on Letterman.
And I noticed that Jerry Gaskell didn't hit, but in fact, he would even grace the hi-hats, which I thought about. It's like, actually, sound-wise, it doesn't. I mean, he overplayed the cymbals live, but now he doesn't. Maybe he was pulling back, or maybe he just didn't feel like doing that anymore. But it was funny, like, but you still get a full sound, and he knows how to. I just like, I love. You know that? Do you know a lot of there's a song called "Lost in Germany" that they do, which is not like a hit song, but there's a drum fill, which might be my favorite drum fill in the whole wide world. And
Whole wide world, damn.
And
That's a cool fill.
more so than. It's just, I should send it. It's just like when you first hear it, you're like, oh, excuse me.
Excuse me, I have to go to the restroom.
More than the intro to Where Eagles Dare by Maiden. What's that?
What song is it? What's the name of the song?
Lost in Germany.
Is it in the middle of the song, or is it's just like?
It's before the outro. Now I have to play it because it's like you're probably not gonna hear, but I'll send it still. It's just,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it.
it's just like I don't know. It's just and it's also just the time.
I think one of my favorite albums of all time is Gretchen Goes to Alaska.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Well, they there's actually a book out now that they had an album out 3 albums later called Dogman,
Yeah.
and it was like kind of like an angry album lyrically and a little edgy. And it turns out their manager, as it happens with like Billy Joel or other bands, had just fucked him over like senselessly, and but man, it fueled some freaking great tunes.
We're too thirsty.
Getting thirsty. How was your burger? How was your chicken? Yeah,
All right.
Is that all right? Nothing.
That was all right. Pretty good. I should get it last week, but I got talked into the wings last week. It didn't take much, but
I went to the barn Saturday. The place in Attleboro here. The ice rink place.
Yeah,
I went there
yeah.
Saturday. It was cool.
What was happening over there?
Cool. It was cool.
What was happening over there?
Nothing. I just was out and about doing errands. I want to stop and get a bite to eat over there. And
That's cool.
yeah, it was cool. And
What the hell did I do Saturday?
that was it shitty Saturday?
Was it shitty Saturday? Did we do something Saturday? No, we didn't. No. I taught on Saturday, and then what do we got? This is the song I'm talking about? Danielle. So it's like a triplet thing, but it's like a something Bissonette would do. It's like a 3 against 4 deal.
It sounds familiar.
Ah, I love that. Oh, I love that. Yeah,
I remember my brother and I sitting there just going like,
Yeah, he does some cool fills, and his drum sounds are awesome too.
I love that. It reminds me of Motley Crue.
Yeah,
Phil's
yeah,
Tommy
yeah,
did on
yeah,
that record.
Yeah, yeah.
Because hands down, Tommy Lee's best playing in Motley Crue was the record without Vince.
without Vin, yeah.
The drumming on that record.
But that was the least processed,
Right.
right?
Yeah, but the parts themselves too. If you listen to the parts that he
Did I
played.
tell you? So the Canadian singer Lisa Del Bello has him play on one of her solo
Really?
albums, and I my MySpace days,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I asked a question about Tommy Lee,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was just like, how does someone in your whatever wind up with Tommy Lee, who's great? And I explained a few things, and she's like, oh, he was great. But when I heard this song, before I knew he was listed, I could tell it was him. Like, or it sounds out like
Okay.
how Tommy Lee would, like even despite the processing on
Right,
their
right,
their
sure,
stuff,
yeah.
you can
Style,
tell his
yeah.
his snare intonation is like is recognizable as like a
Yeah.
Phil Collins Tom hit.
There was some I'd hit that. Where he was, I don't know who he was interviewing. I can't remember, but this kid, he was a younger drummer, and he gave huge props to Tommy Lee because he happened to be in a recording studio and he heard somebody recording downstairs. He didn't know who it was, but then he found out it was Tommy Lee. He goes,
And he couldn't
"That's fucking Tommy Lee." What the fuck?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was
Yeah, I don't
blown
remember.
away by what he was hearing, like the feel of it
Yeah.
and the style.
He
and
said
everything.
it was like a hip hop.
Yeah, it was like
It was
hip-hop
like
stuff.
it was like a rap dude, like a
Right.
hip hop thing he was hearing. He's like, oh, who's,
Right, and he couldn't believe it was Tommy
who's
Lee.
playing? They go, oh, that's Tommy Lee. He goes, no way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he goes, wow, props to him, man. He
Yeah.
he
And
can
the
play.
only reason I would believe that is that Motley Crue record, that Motley Crue record, because his playing, in my opinion anyway, does come out on that record. That he's got more than just, straight double bass, fast chops or whatever, straight
Yeah.
straight rock.
Like I don't know why you remember this, but Wild Side
Yeah.
in particular is one of the first songs I recognized. Like, I think I will recognize this snare sound. Like,
Yeah.
Who would you compare him to, like other rock drummers?
Who, Tommy Lee?
Yeah. Is he? Would you compare him to like Alex?
Alex Van Halen?
Yeah.
Not drum sound wise. Alex definitely has his own snare sound.
got his
that's
own
for sure.
thing,
You know
well,
when it's
drum
that-
sounds in general,
when it's
but-
that drum sound.
But playing wise, you think?
His own playing wise? Yeah, I mean,
I don't hear a lot of player like. I always point
I don't
out
know. Frankie
Michael-
Vanali was close to
Oh
him,
yeah,
though, I thought.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it would.
Frankie,
But
but that same era though.
but-
it was that same era.
I'm saying like, but intonation, like how people hit the snare.
Right.
Different people like. It just like there's that something that it's funny how identifiable that can be.
Yeah. That is true.
The only player like of big name people, the only player who sounds like another person in a good way is DeRozier with Bonham. I feel I feel the Bonham
What's his
vibe,
first name?
but it's not
DeRozier?
Michael DeRozier.
Michael?
But not as a clone. It's just like but
Who's he?
Barracuda would be the song you would know by him. But
Oh.
there's another album. There's another album by Heart, which didn't do well, but I love it. It's like it's a song called "Cities Burning," and in that groove, you like holy cow! It
So I
sounds
got
like
because the current drummer's been with them for a long time. He's got a.
Which one?
He's got a super standard name. He's got like
not the whoever's with it now.
Well,
He was
'cause this guy's been with
he
them
was
for, like, close to
booted
20.
I think before Denny Carmassi
oh,
was in
because
it.
Denny Kamasi
So
was
I think
with,
around 1981,
What About Love was
he,
Denny Kamasi, right? What About Love?
Yeah,
that whole
yeah, yeah.
album was kind.
And Denny Carmassi played for Montrose,
Yeah.
which is like one of those transition bands,
Sammy
like
Hagar.
almost like a what AAA baseball is to
Yeah.
know.
A bunch of people love Montrose to go on to big
Steve
things.
Smith,
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar,
Yeah.
a few others.
But this Benny Krebs very unique kind of player. I was trying to think of who he reminds me of, playing wise. He's very weird. Where he's very technical, but he grooves really good.
Yeah.
Like he lays down some big fat beat. He can play real simple, and even his solo wasn't blazing. He did some really cool things in his solo that he went to his hands, and everything kind of made sense. And I watched a video of him, and he explained. I don't know if he's talking about listening to someone solo. I think he's talking about just playing in general. And if you're playing, you want to kind of try to tie everything together. I think he must have been talking about a solo. And he goes, you don't want your playing to be like random thoughts. And so he starts doing these random thoughts.
Yes, please.
Same.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Want a meal?
And
You don't have to be quiet about it.
shh.
Well, good.
He goes, you don't
Someone
want
trying to
your,
sneak in,
you
sneak
don't
out.
want your solo to be like, that's a neat bird. did I leave the dryer on?
Yeah.
And he goes into all these. Is my shoes untied? This seat's uncomfortable. I gotta call my mother.
That guy's got something on his face.
Right. He goes, you don't want your soul. You want it to kind of all kind of mesh together. So he goes, when I approach something like that, and he goes, you can kind of use that same approach to when you're playing a song. If the song is, he talks about. This was funny, and this is in one of his videos on YouTube, and he talked about it last night. He says, when he does, the reason he did this clinic last night, I guess he does a like a drum camp in New York. He didn't say where in New York. I don't know if it's New York City, but he does one every year. He just came from overseas. He was like in Thailand, Singapore, or something. Just flew in. He's going to New York today or this weekend. He starts his camp. It's like an all weekend camp. Yep. One of the guys that goes to TJ's, this older gentleman, Mike, takes the course in New York. Older jazz cat from Fall River, plays in Boston a lot with bands. Yep. So Mike was signed up to has done this masterclass thing with him several times. Asked, would you ever be interested in doing a clinic when you're in New York? Would you come to Fall River and do something at TJ's? A really cool little music store. They do a lot of clinics. He goes, yeah, if I can work in my schedule, we'll do it. So that's how this came about. So it was through a customer, this guy Mike. And he was there last night. Yeah. We gave him a standing ovation for getting, because the owner of the store goes, from my little store to get someone like him.
That room that it was in, you said was where?
Upstairs from the music
upstairs
store.
from that.
Yeah. So they have this like big empty room. They got a stage and a PA
That's
set
pretty
up.
cool, man.
It's like 60 people, maybe 60
Yeah.
people in there. But,
Oh, that's cool that they have that space though.
Yeah. So Benny Krebs says, when I do my master class, I get someone up here and I tell them to play. They play. I say play three bars of rhythm, 1 bar fill.
Yeah.
So all right,
that makes sense.
He goes 99.9 of them play a groove with
every other bar.
Yeah, no, they do. Downbeat, backbeat stuff. They do their fill, and they do a tom fill, and they end it with a crash. 99.9. So after the 10 people get up, they all do little different, and he does some variations. Yeah. They all play kind of in the same relative beat. They all do a drum fill. Every drum fill incorporates toms, and they all end with a crash. So I said, okay, next time you do this, I don't want any of the backbeat on. I don't want a backbeat on 2 and 4. I want up 2 and 4. I don't want you to end with a crash. And I'm taking the rack tom away, and I'm taking the floor tom away. Do the same exercise, and they go and he's got a beard, so he's scratching his beard. He goes, "This helps if you have a beard. You can do this." They go, I don't know what to do. You took my tom. And he goes, and I take both crashes away, so they got a ride and no crashes. And I go, play that same exercise, but do this, and they go, what am I going to play? I have nothing to hit.
Wisdom.
Yeah. So Benny Krebs says, unfortunately, drummers have this mechanism in their back. Yeah. They have this muscle in their back.
Mechanism in their back.
They have this muscle. It's like this. They have this twitch in their back, and at the end of the third measure, they got to do a fill, and their back turns, and they have to play toms. They have to play. You have to play. End this measure with a tom fill. So I go, how about if you don't play toms and you don't do a crash? And they went, and everybody went, how's this gonna work? And then when I took that stuff away, the creativity came up. That they were playing stuff that they never thought they could play. They were coming up with stuff. And he goes, the rule is everybody knows the fill has to end with a crash. Everybody knows that.
The people in the audience must realize that this isn't a new concept. Know this.
Right.
Plus, you're being put on the spot too, which siphons any will you would have to try.
Yeah. So I thought about this after. I mean,
it's just commonplace.
And a lot of the stuff he does, I'm sure you guys do the same thing, and Mike certainly does a lot of the same.
Sure.
The same stuff. And ask a question: why did you listen to a recording of a gig, and why did you play that there? Why did you? Could you have done something different there? Could you have started that fill maybe a couple beats earlier? or run the fill over a little bit. That might have given it a cool effect. Yeah. Or could you have done a crash? Or how about no crash at all? And how about like come back with a hi-hat swish instead of the crash?
Right.
He goes, I do that a lot. He goes, I love coming out of a fill and don't do the crash. He goes, what a concept. Come out of a fill and don't crash. Don't crash there.
What a revelation.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of the stuff he talked about, wasn't anything new, but like how he put it, was pretty funny. And there was a lot of young kids, so I think he was trying to drill into young kids.
Reinforcement
That you don't have to. DJ's music comes out and says, I just want to say, we set up the equipment and Benny was warming up earlier, and you guys are in for a treat. If you've never seen this guy or heard this guy, you are going to have, top of your head is going to come off. Your skull is going to explode tonight. And he goes, I just want to say, he goes, the drumming community, he goes, we do bass clinics, and we do guitar clinics, and this room is half filled. And he goes, I'm looking at this room, and it's standing room only, and there's people in the hallway. He goes, the drumming community, you drummers, all come out. And he goes, God bless you all for your coming here, and wait till you see this guy. He's one of my idols. And then he came out, he walked right in front of me.
Should we do a little shout out to Drama for not being here? Anything you want to say to Drama for
He
not
did
being
send
here?
a text responding to your link to that song. And
Lost in
Which song is that?
Germany.
Oh, that one?
yeah, and he said,
Did you know that song?
Everyone should go to Lost in Germany
said-
by King's X and go to about 3 minutes
an
and
epic song, love that band.
Oh, okay. There you
3 minutes. Hold on a second. Where is it?
go. Sorry you couldn't be here, Drama.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take a picture tonight. We've neglected to take pictures the past two
Yeah, we
podcasts.
haven't.
Oh, you got me wet. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this is kind of, I don't know if this is funny now. I just want to tell the story about the Wilmington gig. So I got the new kit. I brought it in.
Yeah.
Never played it, so you've never played it?
Never played it, but there was a whole bunch of bands, and there was a hip hop band. It was about like either a dozen or more people. They didn't bring a kit. I haven't even played my own kit yet. So they're like,
Can we use your
can
kit?
we use a kit?
And they're opening.
I'm looking at a dozen people, and I'm like, no.
No? Why
I
did you
just,
bring a kit?
I just kind of like no, and I let them use my cymbal stands, and they were polite, but they were kind of like a little bit
Put off by it.
dismissive. Yeah, but it's like no, I'm gonna be the first person to put dents in this.
Right.
So it was just, it's just funny how. Wow. But
What was their reasoning? Like, why didn't they have a kit with them? Did they say?
80% of musicians. I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you? I think there was a, because it was a cattle call thing in the Wilmington Public Library. I think they probably thought, even though it was clearly printed and all the
house kit.
necessary stuff,
Yeah.
you must bring your own stuff. But they probably thought there was a house kit.
It kills me when you go to an open mic night and it's a band open mic night where drummers can go and nobody brings sticks.
Oh, you don't even
Of the
tell
one
me.
thing you think, of the one thing you think they would bring.
Oh, my other pet peeve. Ask.
Do you host them?
I have.
So when
Yeah,
people
I've been-
move the tom instead of like loosening the. Yeah.
Oh, they come up and they start rearranging everything. They start rearranging.
Yeah.
Start tuning, detuning. I go, hey. No. I go up there. I go.
Mike's kit.
Yeah.
I go. Is this your kit? And he goes, no. I go, yeah, no, you don't.
You have to submit
I
a.
go, is this your kit? And he goes, no. I go, do you know whose kit it is? And he goes, no. I go, well, it's my fucking kit, and you don't touch anything. I go,
biting.
You don't touch the kit. Don't touch the kit. So then I got to the point where I put a sign on it.
Right.
Don't move anything. Don't tune anything. I take all the. I took my drumsticks away. So I even have some assholes. I take all my sticks away. They go to get up there to play, and they run off stage. And I go, hey, where's the drumsticks? I go, my sticks are over there.
Yeah.
I go, let me just say something here.
Yeah.
You show up to a drum night. You show up to an open mic.
Right.
Everything here is supplied. The only thing you have to bring
Drumsticks.
are drumsticks, and you didn't even bring those. I go, I don't know what to tell you, guy, but you're not using. I go, come on, guy, you're not gonna. I go, you go ask them. My sticks are over here.
Some other drummers over there.
Yeah, some other drummers.
Go
No,
ask
my
them.
stuff's all put away. And then I had some people go, only one rack time? What am I going to do? I go, one other rack time? Bring another rack
How
time.
do you handle
I
when
said,
people want to play your kit at one of your regular games?
Shame.
No problem.
Yeah, he's got no problem with it, actually. Yeah.
No problem.
I don't either, but usually the guitar player in the band doesn't like that because he's thinking about if the manager
guitar
gets
player
ticked
band.
off at the because of if they
Yeah,
can't play.
yeah, and that's I think that's gonna that's gonna. But I don't have any problem with anybody getting up and playing on my gear. I do have a problem going up there and rearranging.
Yeah.
I'm usually up at the open mics. I go up with the person and say, hey, is there anything you need me to move or anything? And if you've got to adjust it, look, it's someone like my buddy Pete or Dave. I go rearrange. You'll do whatever you got to do. And they're like, no, guy, it's all set up.
The two things for me, I'm like, if you want to raise the hi-hat or lower the hi-hat, you want to raise the snare, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Those two things are so easy, just up, down.
Yeah.
But you start moving all this other bullshit around, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
And then they get done playing, they come over and go, oh, you have your crash way over here. I like mine. Oh, I didn't even know what to do because that crash was. I go, well, you know what? Why don't you bring your own kit next time, and we'll take some time to come get here early.
And just one last
We'll
thing
just
on the sticks thing. When people don't bring their own sticks.
Oh,
Drummers have been dying to have the luxury of carrying nothing, like singers, to a gig.
So,
and all you got to do is have a pair of sticks shoved in the inside pocket of your jacket, like a harmonica player shoves a harmonica in there, and you still can't bring sticks.
Yeah. No, so my friend.
Shame on you.
That's right.
My friend hosts some open jams, and that's his biggest pet peeve. Someone comes up, doesn't have sticks, he goes friggin' bananas.
Yeah. Well, I guess students that still come in with no sticks.
Oh yeah.
You got students that come in with no sticks?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Where's your stuff? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Where's your sticks? Are you a drummer?
Well, I'll spend half the lesson doing counting. Or
Right.
something
Or
like that.
I haven't played with their hands.
And they're looking at the clock the whole time. I'm like, yeah. Well, remember to bring other
Bring your
things
sticks and stuff,
next
yeah.
time. Yeah. It's like
They blame it on their parents.
I remember what celebrity musician was saying this. It was probably Neil Peart in one of his books where he's like,
Peart.
People come up to him and they want an autograph, but they don't have a pen.
Oh, right.
Like that. So
Right.
if you're gonna ask for an autograph,
Yes. Yeah.
shouldn't you at least make it so they can?
Have your shit ready.
That's the same thing when the guys go out and they sign for fans on the road. People usually will have their own Sharpies. Like, the band's not carrying around Sharpies and pens to sign your shit. Like, have a pen there. Or if you want to take a picture, have your camera ready. Like, don't be rifling through your phone to all of a sudden get the camera up and you just ask to take it. Like, have the camera there. Have it ready.
When I got a picture with Gavin Harrison, it was awful because the thing wasn't working a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no, it's embarrassing.
And then Renee took a picture of me, and it's like I got a picture of me with Gavin Harrison looking like.
Yeah.
Like, Well, what's funny? It's like, you want to make this connection and say, hey, look, I'm John. I transcribed this for you, and this was a modern drummer, this and that.
I didn't get an autograph
But
last night.
He couldn't have cared less whatever. I got 3 of his songs in modern.
I'm always weird and about getting like an autograph after the fact because I don't know. I never know what to say. I feel like uncomfortable. I don't want to go up.
Right.
That was awesome. You were great. I couldn't believe that thing you did. That the thing. I never know what to say, and then they go.
That's a drum technical term, by the way. Ba-do-ba-do-ba-do.
And then he goes, what's your name? What do you want me to write on this? Whatever. And I get an autograph and stuff. So I'm like, I don't. I used to get like autographs and have them autograph a picture, a CD, or something. But I just feel weird going up. And I know the guy's he's tired. He just played for over an hour. He's wiped out. Now he's gonna go sign autographs for 50 people, 60 people. I'm like, I want to just be left alone. But he's nice. He's gracious. He's very nice. He's and do the picture and blah blah blah. And people going up there and kissing.
Todd
his ass.
Zuckerman is super swell, easygoing.
Yeah.
He knows his role. But
Yeah.
working for DeCenzo's helped a lot because I got to hang out without having to wait in line. I could wait until everything calmed down, and you get to chat with. But
And that's when I'd want to go out and have a beer with him afterwards, and I'd feel more comfortable having a chat and go grab a meal or something, and grab a bite, let him relax, get his thoughts together, and then say, hey, that thing you were talking about. Then maybe hit him with some questions later, but while he's there, he's kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Danielle from Park Street. You change your grip a lot?
Do you switch up
The
Stick grip, I mean.
yeah, but it's I
subtle
don't. Well, yeah, because
Obviously, like ride cymbal is a different grip for ride cymbal a lot of times.
I tend to respond. I tend to respond to whatever because when your stages are different sizes. So if I have a little less room, I
Oh yeah.
and I'll play differently because I have this much room, which I like that challenge. But the I keep forgetting this too. Like I forget to breathe sometimes.
Oh,
Choke up on the stick for different backbeats.
Yeah.
That's probably the most accessible
Yeah.
thing is you get a different feel of a
That's, I
backbeat.
think I get the most mileage of is if I'm doing a real tight hi-hat pattern, like an eighth note, just an eighth note, real tick, 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 tick. I choke way up and I almost hold it like I'm holding it like a baseball bat, and I
Hi-hat, the biggest change is I love the swampy thing,
yeah.
and I love holding it like that because
So I do that with my ride. If I just want a real sloppy side, I roll my wrist
you
over. And
imitate the feel that you want.
I'm holding onto the stick.
Yeah.
Holding on to the stick with like the two fingers. I get this real sloppy, bouncy thing. It's a real light playing, a real quiet part of the song. I can't get any power. I can't generate any power from that. So it automatically, I get that feel because I just can't generate any power with my wrist.
Yep.
I used to
that.
get awful ride cymbal sound, especially from the bell, and I never realized that I would release my back fingers a lot, and so at one point I just always this, and it's funny what a different sound you get out of a bell.
Just the position of your hand.
Just not by. I guess we're kind of always under the scrutiny of like, technique, fingers, and all.
Yeah.
But really, when you're playing a static anything, the last thing you want is the stick to be doing.
Yeah, right. Fly
So, but the bell, you shouldn't have to overplay the bell. If you hit the shoulder of the stick, you should be able to get a nice solid sound. But if you're holding the stick, like just sitting in the curl of your fingers, you will get a meatier sound
Yeah.
because it goes right into the stick in your hand a little bit, which I think we shouldn't. But it's different. If you're playing like a single stroke roll, you're not going to do that. But if you're playing,
You're trying to get that effect. You do whatever grip you need to do to get that effect.
Yeah.
yeah. But I used to be a victim of that. I would say it was always
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And if you see still photos of Mike
you're-
Mangini, you always see this.
Well, you're like
As a-
classically trained though, right? So was the grip different? Was it different when you're doing Tiffany and stuff like that? Your grips, that's a way bigger deal when you're
To
doing
be
that
honest
stuff.
with you, I think it's all the same sickness. I mean, the idea that you want to hold it there in your fulcrum, but even for classical playing,
The rules aren't really any different.
what's the repertoire for classical music with snare drum parts? I mean, you want to have, it's like when there's a staccato, like bolero, for 20 minutes, you're doing that, you don't want to, you're going to hold it kind of, for a staccato sound. So maybe it's not fair to compare that, but to the point, I mean, you learn this, and then you think, oh, it's technique. So when I play drum set, I'm going to play
I
like...
should use that, and it doesn't. It can work, but
I mean, look at Carl Palmer. He's one I followed, but I probably would not enjoy, under my hands, I wouldn't enjoy his drum sounds, because he's got a jazz kit almost, with rock power, but he's very technical, and he's very staccato, and I guess like Buddy Rich, he can pull that off. But I never enjoyed, honestly, the impact of playing when I was like all about that.
yeah,
And when I started, like, whatever, best thing I did.
You guys ever
for that.
play without even touching with those two fingers? Playing with these three?
I do. I learned
or
in a
even
funny
big-
way when I.
Oh, not even.
Especially heavy, like not even touching with these
Yeah.
two fingers. Especially when you're playing heavy.
Yeah.
I find if I'm gripping with my pinky
Like
and
riding
my
on a
ring
crash kind
finger,
of thing,
yeah,
and like
or
that.
China.
So you get that big open effect.
You get
kinda.
the power and all that shock's not going into your.
I learned that
stick
from.
with
Are you getting a lot of rebound from
Yeah.
the stick, so you don't have
Getting a lot of
control?
wave with it.
You get a lot. So you get
I
a lot.
learned it
Of,
from when the lights. If you're in a stage where lights are too close to us,
Yeah.
and you start sweating like
Yeah.
crazy,
Uh-huh.
where I couldn't grip
Oh.
the sticks, and I
okay.
learned from that, like, I can
yeah,
actually
okay,
pull this
okay.
off.
Sure.
Tony Williams
I think I
has
learned because of the. I'll get back to that, but
yeah.
I think I learned because of a night I was gripping too tight and I was starting to cramp up a little bit, and so these fingers took over,
Yeah.
and it relaxed my main two, my thumb and my
yeah.
pointer, enough to relax again and loosen up. And then as I was doing that, I'm like, oh damn, I'm getting way more power
Is that
out
nuts?
of this
Isn't
throw.
that crazy?
so what do you just
In
bring
the
the finger up?
stick.
You just kind of bring the finger up.
I
like
let
that?
go with these two, and like this is my main finger now, but these two are holding it.
I think I do.
This
that.
is a sub.
know.
In a sense, it's a sub.
Yeah,
Fulcrum.
right. Yeah, your middle finger. Yeah.
Tony Williams has a
Which one,
Zildjian
this
Day
finger?
Yeah,
video.
yeah, that one.
He
This
talks
one?
about that. He doesn't do this, and it's Tony Williams, so okay,
Yeah,
we
okay.
give him credibility.
Yeah, yeah.
But he talks
What
about.
does he do? What does he know?
I know he's like what Wipeout or something, but he talks about that, and it's like it's undescribable because you're not so specifically trying to hold it with one finger. It's just it's in this cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You work mostly from your wrist.
Right.
As long as you're comfortable with that, that's what 90% of what you need to know.
Right.
But I don't think it means I never do this. But he doesn't do this as the basis of.
Sure.
So it's an interesting thing because how just like the Benny Grebs, everyone does the same fill with the same crash. Well, we all learn the same way,
We all learn the same way. So he goes. So he goes. That's one of the biggest tricks is to break people of the habits. And yeah, habits are just the way of thinking.
Commonplace. The commonplace.
So, yeah, and it's a safe zone. So he
Go
goes now, like,
clockwise around the drums.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So he goes now. He goes, and that's a lot of that is that's what you've always done. So you feel safe. That's your safe zone. That's what you've always played. So you feel comfortable doing that. Now take something out of there. Now you're in an uncomfortable zone. But he goes, that's where other parts of the brain start to take over. And then,
We had talked about this. But what was your first kit? You remember?
still have it. It's,
You do?
the Maxwin.
Pearl Maxwin.
You still have it.
Yeah,
That's the one that's in his apartment. The white,
It's my
white
apartment. I
one.
use the bass drum, but I have the rhythm tech or the rhythm traveler toms with
Right.
everything with the mesh.
Right.
No.
Did you buy it?
Well, I mean,
Your
my
parents
dad
buy
and
it?
mom both gave me some money in December 29th, 1984,
Wow.
Oh, nice.
in Manlius, New York.
Manliest?
Manlius.
Manlius. Oh.
Manlius.
I know that place very
Manly
well.
us.
I know.
I often frequent.
But it was
manly-
funny because
manliness,
my
manly-
first instinct was, well, I'm gonna have this, but I'm gonna get all their contra toms.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta
Oh, yeah,
you
we
gotta
did
add
too.
on to
Yeah,
that.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah. So it's 74 pieces. Like after a year, you
I
have
had
like
it.
70,
I had an 8 and
17
10
rack toms
Maxwin.
and
8 and 10 Maxwin concert tom set.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I just got to Rotos, which.
and then you kept that. So that's your original kit you learned on, and you.
Yeah.
Wow. good for you.
I played it through college,
Did you really?
and then when I have a despicable drum ownership history. It's very few actually. After college, I gave myself a graduation present. What do I get? I get the Remo drum kit.
Oh, which you also still
And I-
have, right?
Was that?
that's
No,
still-
I sold that.
I remember
with
you
the, with the,
having
with
that
the
kit,
black
though.
prismatic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm gonna be a badass and be like really weird.
Is that the one tuning peg one? Is that
No,
the
no,
one?
no. That's Arbiter.
Okay.
But
That's all I remember about Remo.
It's
that
black.
yeah.
It's black, but it's like depending on the light, it gives you rainbowish.
Yeah.
And I had that.
That's far
I
out,
actually,
man.
I actually had that all
I
the way
dig
through
that
like
kit, man.
2004.
Wow.
And I remember I was at teaching at DeSenzo's, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I just can't take it. And when I auditioned for Johnny A,
Yeah.
I think I told you, right?
Yeah.
First thing he said, which I knew I was shit in the water.
Right.
Oh, nice drums. I'm like, great. So I don't even have a tom out of the car. I didn't have cases for it either.
Yeah.
And he sees that. But the thing with them is they were engineers never liked the because it's the alternate resin and fake wood and resin is like that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
It made a good attack,
Lively drum, loud,
the
lively.
bass drum had no the frequency thing was all off.
Wow.
So it just didn't sound good, and every time I ever recorded with it,
Right.
engineers are like, "What the hell is that?"
Right.
It had
I can't believe
had
how
no
long I had
tone.
that.
It was just a lot of volume and not a lot of tone.
It's more, it was more attack, and
Yeah.
I felt justified because Bozio had one, and Van Romain played Remo. And
Yeah.
I don't
What's
think they
the one
had
with the one tuning peg?
Arbiter.
Arbiter. It's a remote.
No.
Remo
Arbiter
never
was
did
his
that? I
own
thought
brand.
Remo
George
had it.
George
did
knows
Re-
all about that because he
Didn't
owns
Remo
one.
have one of those?
Didn't
One
Remo
Pre-tuned
have,
kits?
Yeah.
You mean the
pre-tuned.
pre-tuned?
Yeah.
Those are awful.
That's what I was talking.
Those
about.
are
I'm talking about it had like a the rim had a one rim.
that's
split,
Arbiter.
That's
and it was the
Arbiter,
one.
okay.
George
that was
Dussault
Arbiter.
teaches guitar at
Okay.
White's. He
Yeah.
owns a studio. He
Yeah.
still has an Arbiter kit.
Okay,
He
that might have been
does?
Rick Morin's kit because Rick
maybe.
Morin had one forever. So it's
Unless
probably Rick Morin.
unless George
Might
got
have
it from
been
Rick.
Rick's.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember seeing that kit. I go, that is so cool. And it was one like.
It's not a
tuning-
bad idea.
and it would
Yeah,
close and
but-
it would squeeze
Yeah.
the head and then
Yeah.
you tune it that way. It was,
I'm saying for the time it came out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Look,
it's not the German. It's not the German
If I
engineering.
what was the? I forget the name of the model of the Remo kits, but after that, I really shouldn't complain about any drum I own. But it was just, I don't know. It's what I had, and it's funny to think I've only ever owned 4 kits.
I haven't owned that many either. This one over here has owned like 20 drum sets, but I haven't owned that many either. Honestly,
I don't know what I honestly don't know what I would ever.
right
get
up till I
if
played with Tiffany Shea, my Pearl Export that I bought
I remember that the
out
red
of
one,
high
right?
school. No, I had a Smoky Chrome wrap one.
Okay.
Pro kit, yeah.
And I still know where that one is because I had sold it to a friend of Tiffany in Dallas. Now she lives in New Hampshire. She still has it.
She lives in New Hampshire.
Yeah, she moved. Not Tiffany, her friend does.
Oh, okay.
And she moved to New Hampshire, and I always told her, "So you're gonna get rid of it, sell it back to me. I'll buy it back." Because
Nice.
that kit from '88 or '89, I think, when I got out of high school, all the way up to 2005. That's when I played on with Tiffany Shea.
Toured. That went all over
Toured
the place.
too, yeah. And
Wow.
and then that Pearl kit that I have now, the Prestige Custom in the Prestige Session in the studio.
Yeah.
That one became my studio kit, and the Pearl Export was my live kit. And then when I got rid of the Export, that became my main kit. But I haven't had a lot of stuff either.
Do you remember the Neil Peart issue of Modern Drummer, the green one? Really stupid picture. I mean, it was like not the best picture. He was on the cover. It was green, I think, on the border. Well,
We'll probably have it at once.
my question to ask to Modern Drummer was in that issue, where I asked about how can I get, or what would happen if I did like Neil Peart's, what do you call it, vibrifying effect? He coated the inside of his shells with lacquer
You did?
to get extra
Really?
attack, and
I didn't know that.
I did that with my the Pearl.
Oh, you did?
The
The Max one?
Max one.
Yeah.
And it actually did like give it a shift of like attack, but you're not going to do anything for the tone. 'cause
All the factories, all the different manufacturers had their own little trick. Gretsch sprays the inside with a silver. It's
Oh, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
just they
silver
have a
stuff.
special name for it, silver sealer or
Meth.
something. It's Rust-Oleum something is what they use, and they spray the inside, and that's supposed to give it. And then Ludwig had the sparkle, the
Yeah.
black and white. Your rocker, your Ludwig rocker kit
Yeah.
has a speckle, this black and white speckle on the inside.
Yeah.
What I really heard the reason for that was, I don't think maybe somebody would know this is true. The rockers are made of a lesser grade wood.
Okay.
So they were helming it. They'd
makes
used
it stronger?
they'd used the primo wood for the upper models of Ludwig.
Yeah.
The models that didn't have a lot of the wood that didn't have knots and ugliness. They'd use and the clear insides of the Ludwig Classics or something. The cheaper wood, they get this batch of wood, they got to use it. The cheaper, the more ugly wood that had a lot of knots and streaks and stuff, they would make same exact wood, same maple. They would use that for the rockers, and they would paint the inside so you wouldn't see all the ugliness. So same wood, same thickness, same everything, but they would paint it so you'd cover it.
So I got all of the triple flanged hoops I ordered
Yep.
from
And we record-
drumfactorydirect.com.
And we recorded the snare drum last night.
That's right.
Right?
Oh,
But,
so on your Gretsch snare.
Yeah, but everything, it opens. It feels.
You put them on the whole kit.
I put them on my 10-inch tom and a 14-inch tom, and it's just like
It opens everything up. You like them a lot better.
It's probably more in how it feels to play. It just feels good, really good to play.
Is that because with the flange hoops you can crank them a little tighter and get more? You got more tension to get more response out of them.
I think the resonance is more uninhibited.
So the die-cast hoops would deaden or make them not as lively, however you want to say.
It was too much.
Yeah.
And
See,
so
that's what I find with. I got a Gretsch Renown kit, but I love the drum kit. That's the only kit I have, only drum set I have with die-cast hoops, and I just can't tune them worth a shit.
the best
know
I can
how to-
make is that they want to sell this because it's popular, but for John from Volbeat, for example,
Yeah.
it makes sense. You're playing in an arena.
Yeah.
You've got to have as much of a focused sound because the sound person's gonna, and the microphone is gonna do probably more of the work.
Right.
You don't want to fight with, but it's insane knowing what I know now. It's just insane to have to deal with that. And I don't know how. Like the drums I got, the Pro Masters kit, from what I understand, is a thinner. Is it a thinner shell? But you would think it would be more for like sensitive playing or whatever.
Yeah.
Little styles. So let's talk about the die-cast.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm
We're
never
back on the die-cast hoop.
I'm never going back. I'm never going back though. It's like I don't know what to do.
I mean, he finally found what he was missing. You know what I mean? Like what he was missing for his sound that he wants. That's
Same in my sound. It's just for
What you like,
the
though.
type of stuff I do. It just makes
Yeah.
sense. In fact, if you need my die-cast hoops for backup for John, if they're black. So
So
they in black?
So the ones you ordered are black, or did you put black?
they're kind of like a black chrome, but I don't even care.
John's got black ones.
Oh, does he? So I Drum Factory Direct is a site I found. They sell.
I love that site.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been a lot.
I've been ordering a shitload of stuff from them because they have a lot of stuff you cannot find anywhere
Yeah.
else. I don't want to go to like even the snare strainers for my Gretsch snare, and it sounds better than with the original strainer. And I bought like a $20 strainer.
You put triple flange on your Gretsch snare too. You got rid of the
And on the bottom.
That's what we recorded.
Even on the
So you
bottom.
recorded that. Right, so you recorded top and bottom. You recorded that.
If you
Sounded good, I
if we
thought.
still
We didn't do
had if we
anything
still
to it.
had the die-cast hoops on that,
Yeah.
it was still like, how would I put this? There would be a difference. The snare, it still allowed a lot of dynamics. So I just feel with the toms, it's just more than it sounded. It felt better to play. It's just so what you enjoy playing them, which is more about me. But yeah, it's amazing. I'd never questioned it, and the now almost 15 years I've had this kit.
You've had that kit for 15 years, really? The Pro kit?
13 years, I guess.
No kidding.
The first time I played it, I just bought it from DeCenzo's, and it came in, and I had a gig for my friend Steve in Philadelphia. Actually, it was in Wilmington. Delaware. We were playing first night, and I brought the kit still with tags on it, which is a rotten thing to do, to just show up at a gig with your whole new kit. You know what I mean? So you haven't. And I just changed the heads that day.
JK, it's not the kit that makes the drummer.
Yeah,
It's the drummer that makes the kit.
So we're playing
You should
there,
be able to
and
bring
it's
a
like
romper room
it's like 8
kit,
to 10
a
bands playing
Muppets
there.
kit, and with your ability, JK, you should make that sound amazing.
So
It's supposed to be some crummy weather.
you're gonna miss the
Half
debut
drummers?
of Half Drummer.
Oh, what? Yeah, what was
Half
going on?
drummers.
I have. Oh, this will solve my mystery. What is Sunday? What is going on Sunday? Something going on at White's?
Yeah, me and him are doing
I don't know.
the debut of Half Drummers at the recital. 1:00.
What is that? What is that? Oh,
Bring Marcia.
Is that the students doing the concert thing?
Well, it is a student recital,
Okay.
but me and John are opening the show.
All right, this solves my
Your calendar
mystery.
entry?
I have
Yeah.
White. It just says
White's music?
It says no. It doesn't even
Oh.
say that. It says.
Where do you want to start, John?
What the hell did I have?
Where do you want to start?
Oh, let's just give them the beginning. So,
White's show. I have. And
we'll do cymbals with the voice and drum. Right. So,
No, we don't have to do that
ding
live.
ding diddling ding ding diddling.
Ding, ding, da-da-da-da. Ding, ding, da-da-da-da.
Oh. Shit, I better not do that someday.
So are you guys doing that thing? You're doing that thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? How's that? Have you guys been
Yeah, we rehearsed
rehearsing
it tonight.
Well, you
Yeah.
wouldn't tell. You
couldn't tell there, but yeah, we rehearsed it again tonight.
How's it going?
Tonight was the best night.
Is it tough
Ah,
to do? Is it hard?
this is still
Yeah, it's confused.
first.
I know, it's fucking great. Did you see that post? No, you're on Instagram. It was us in the studio with Ed last night, and I posted this thing where we were trying to count out the measures of Ed's song. And Ed's in the background, and me and John are like,
Is
five!
Is it like nine measures in?
Ask him. he
Is
started,
it like
he started
9
charting
and
it.
2/3 measures, or what is it like?
Actually, no. It was. Well, I mean, we discovered what it was. It was.
It's
9/8, 9/8, and a 6/4 3
It
times.
was when an acoustic guitar player writes a song with nothing else and just does his own timing, is what it is.
Yeah,
So it was what? It's a what?
it was 9/8
Yeah.
and a 6. Well, and I call it like what do you call it? It's a fake 4 1
Yeah.
2 3 4 1, like where you.
Yeah.
So 9/8 6/4 9/8 6/4 9/8 6/4. Then it was a bunch of 4/4. Then 3/4. And then
It was like 10 3/4 measures
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
into something
And
else.
I had listened to it in the background, but I hadn't really like written it out. So I got there, we did that in like 10, 15 minutes. We kind of like did that, and it recorded better than I thought it would.
No. How do you break that down? Like when you're listening to that, are you thinking 4/4 first, and then you realize 4/4 isn't working, so then you gotta
you count
back,
four, you count
then
four,
you're
and you
back.
wait until there's a skip, and then yeah.
Then you realize it's not 4.
So then you look for the skip, and then you figure out what count the skip is at, and then
you
you
gotta try to find what's looping.
If the skip happens
then you're
after
trying to find a repetitive
if
pattern.
the skip
after.
happens after you say 4, you know it's 9/8. If it happens after you count 3, you know it's 7. And I think in one case there was a 11 or something like this. No, it was a 7. No. And,
was a 7,
it was
I
a
thought.
7/4. So it was
7.
like it was just so different.
Yeah.
But,
He doesn't have any idea. that
No,
this is-
no. it's
he
just the way
doesn't, but he
writes.
could reproduce it. So
He could play. It's just the way he plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way he plays.
So he was saying he wants to, he's open to changing it, but the only
Right.
problem is then it's never going to have, you're never going to make a decision. So we just stuck pretty much with what he had.
Right.
And,
we formed it. What is it called again? Half drummer.
Half drummer.
That was John's idea. And there's a chart for this, by the way. I'll send you the chart.
Of each person's part.
Yeah, he double staffed it. So the top staff is just cymbals, and the
Yeah.
bottom staff is drums.
Okay.
And,
who's
it's
playing
all
cymbals?
timed out.
Who's playing
It
cymbals?
switches.
Oh, okay.
So our initials tell us what we play.
Okay.
And then he also even has, like, to the audio track, has at what minute, like what minute does this song start? What minute does this song start? What minute, in case we want to jump back.
Are you playing to a track? Are you playing to
Playing to a track.
You're playing to a track.
Yeah, we edited together in Reaper, so it only goes a few measures of each song into the next song.
Are you rehearsing this again before the show?
I don't know. We doing it Saturday? We gonna rehearse it Saturday? Probably when we set up, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to play it for Dave then. We can do it after he leaves.
Okay.
Make him leave. Dave hasn't wanted to hear it because he doesn't know what we're doing.
Oh, he doesn't know what you're doing? He has no idea what you're doing?
He knows we're playing. He doesn't know what we're playing. He has no idea. So it's a total surprise. In fact, he walked in on us the other day and he averted his eyes from what we were doing. Because we had headphones on, so we couldn't hear what we were doing. But it was a song anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. The hilarity of it, I should have been filming the rehearsals because the hilarity of just, I wasn't supposed to hit the cymbal. You're doing a fill or something, and then you go,
you wanted to end the fill with a crash?
Yeah, well, the other guy's supposed to.
Right.
Because he's covering the cymbals.
Oh, see, if Benny was there, he would have told you.
How do I?
It's way more, it's difficult.
So,
It's difficult. Well, while John tries to figure out how to add something to Instagram, let's wrap this up, boys and girls, or just boys.
Shit. No, I ain't never got. You trying to?
Was a
you
nice
trying to use that interweb thing?
Eventful night here at Park Street.
My book.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Face
John,
Space.
what do we have coming up, guys? Do you got gigs this weekend?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? Not that they're going to hear this,
No.
but in time.
Oh.
Because they're going to hear it on Monday. How about next week? You got a
No.
gig next week?
No.
You got a gig next week, Johnny? Not tomorrow. Not Saturday, but the following week. Anything you want to advertise?
Playing a private event in Portland.
That's a private event. Okay. All right. So you can't go to that. Sorry, everybody. But you can check out everyone's respective band websites. They are in the links in the description to this.
You put mine in there?
Yeah, you're in there too. JK Drum Solutions.
Oh,
We're
no,
all in there.
not the band, though.
No, but JK Drum Solutions is in there.
Maybe that's why
I don't know
getting
your
hits.
band
I've been
stuff.
getting hits. Thank you.
Yeah, from the links in the description. And Butchie's bands, both Butchie's bands are, although one is really active right now,
Looking up
more than the other, but the other one will be out soon. So go visit them. The link to my website is in there, and also Drama's bands links are in there as well. And we will put any other links we see fit down there for you to check out anything we might have talked about during this podcast. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for always tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when we post our next podcast every Monday.
Love you.
Love. Hugs and kisses right back at you.
SnareBurger Productions.
Hugs.
Good night, all. Thanks for listening, Allison. Say thanks, Allison.
Thanks, Allison.
That was for you.
That was for you.
Yeah, we'll edit this part out for sure.
We'll edit the part about the editing.
Yeah. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll leave that part in. You need to edit this out. Edit what out?